Hello, my friend. I hope that you are well. I've noticed that there are a lot of comments in the different videos for this channel where people have asked some variation of, "Hey, I noticed you had a lot of videos 5 years ago and you haven't posted anything in a long time." And I'm for one, I'm very flattered, and I'm very glad that some of the videos have been helpful to people and that you'd like to see more. And I thought it might be nice just to answer the question, why have I not posted videos in 5 years? So instead of typing a bunch of answers, I thought I would just answer in one video here for everybody. So in case that's something that you're curious about, here's why. So if you notice 5 years ago, all of the videos that were posted were recorded in the same setting, with a nice background of there was some grass growing outside of the building. And that's because I used to guide a mindfulness group or lead a mindfulness group that was at the public library here in Nashville, Tennessee. It was actually at the Bellevue branch. And as I'm sure you recall, around 2 or 3 months into the year 2020, our lives changed quite drastically all around the world when the COVID pandemic started to really take hold and the library, as many places did, closed. So there was no public venue to have a mindfulness group. And nor did too many people want to meet in group settings and closed spaces. So we stopped doing that. And it was around that same time that, I had a second child, my business was growing, and before the library opened again, I actually started a second company, which is called People Thriver. And as you might guess, the aim of the company is to help people thrive, to help organizations thrive by focusing on helping people thrive. So I became quite busy, and when the library opened up again, I just didn't really have time in my schedule to be facilitating a mindfulness group on a volunteer basis. There was too many demands on my time, so I just never really got back into it. And I'm not a huge fan of answering comments with typing, particularly when I'm really busy. But I really do enjoy answering questions live, which is what I used to do in those videos. But it occurred to me recently that, there's no harm in answering questions just like this, just talking into a camera in my office. And I've also noticed, right around the time of the election, that particularly in the United States, that there just seemed to be much more suffering in our country on both sides of the political spectrum. I think people are very divided. We're not being very kind to each other. And it was actually this realization that there's a lot of suffering. Mental health is not very good, particularly in the United States and particularly among young people, that I really wanted to help. And so I've actually written a new book that releases here. The paperback releases on March 11th. So depending on when you're watching this, it may be coming out in a few days or it may already be out. But it was kind of the same logic. I had thought about writing a book on mindfulness for a long time, but didn't really think it would reach many people. But because of the two companies I founded, we've learned a lot about book marketing. And I've written a leadership book called Inspire Greatness that launched as a USA Today and LA Times and Publishers Weekly bestseller. And since we've learned so much about book marketing, I realized, if I were to take the time to write a book, I think maybe we could help a lot of people. We could reach a lot of people with that. And so when I was thinking through that, I realized, well, I could also probably help people a lot just by answering questions that they have about the practice. And it seemed like this YouTube channel is probably the best venue for that. So I thought with the YouTube channel, I could not only answer questions for people who read the book and have questions about the practice of mindfulness or mindful self-awareness, but also all the people who leave comments in the videos on this channel. I'm not going to be able to answer every question, but I try to notice themes and I'll try to continue to answer questions. And so that's what I'm going to be doing going forward, is using this channel just as a simple platform to answer questions that people have about the practice of mindfulness, mindful self-awareness, whether it's people that are watching videos and leaving comments, asking questions that way, or people who've read the book and then come onto the channel and leave a comment on one of the videos. That just makes it very simple to respond to things that people actually want to know about. I'm not just creating ideas that I hope people want to hear about. It's for me, it's much more efficient to just know that if I'm creating content, it's directed specifically at solving a question or solving a problem or answering a question that somebody wants to know. So I hope that this clarifies for you why I've been away for about 5 years here. I haven't posted any content. But unless something crazy happens, my intention is to post at least a video a week, maybe a couple videos a week. And just as I can, I've blocked off an hour or two every week to just go through and find some questions I find themes that are continuing, so that I can answer those questions. And yeah, so hopefully there'll be a video or at least one, maybe two or three each week for the foreseeable future. And unless something crazy happens, that's my plan and that's my intention. And I hope that um, I hope that I can be as helpful as possible to you in some way, and that you continue enjoying the content on this channel. And again, for those of you who made comments about how much you enjoy the content and wondering where I've been. It's like, I thank you again. I'm very flattered and very grateful, and I hope to continue producing content that is helpful to you. Until the next time, I wish you well, my friend.